Good morning. Welcome to Gruber Power Hour. I'm Janie.
I'm Nicole.
And we have a few things that we want to go over first from last week.
Exactly.
Right, Nicole?
Yes, we do.
And so go ahead, Nicole. Talk about what we were going to...
So good morning, everyone. Last week, Titan Tech Troll asked about our warranties. And Janie and I both were, we knew some of them, but not all of them. And we didn't want to give the wrong information. So we went back to the powers that be that do know all of this information, and we have that answer for you. So with the circuit boards, fuses, and other similar parts such as those, it is a 90-day warranty. Battery cabinets, displays, external communications cards, intelligent modules, power modules, static switches are 90 days to a year based on the SKU number. I know there are certain parts that they replace for the 1-year warranty versus the 90-day warranty. And that is something that your account manager can go over in detail with you. When it comes to the UPSs, which we'll talk about later on in the show as well, but just a quick recap, it'd be 90 days to a year. And if you get the maintenance agreement, that includes all your parts. So that kind of is almost better than a warranty or the same
because of the coverage.
Right, exactly, because it covers everything for you.
Well, most parts, capacitors,
except for the capacitors and the batteries. Yes, I'm getting there.
I know.
But we'll go into that a little bit more further in the podcast when we get to that part of the show. But I just wanted to make sure that we address that. And then other parts are 90 days as well. So like the smaller parts that we didn't mention within the list are 90 days.
Well, very good. Thank you, Nicole, for clarifying that.
It's
one of the things that we will do is make sure to go back and get the
research and ask the right questions.
Yep,
correct.
That's what we're about around here.
Yes.
For sure. So corresponding with our picture that we have here is today we're going to talk about recycling or selling your UPS. What we mean by selling your UPS is we will buy back equipment from our customers that are no longer using them. They have different things going on, whether they're doing adds, moves, or changes, and they're either increasing or going for a smaller unit, whatever their purposes are, or, scaling differently. But we will buy back that equipment, and then we'll bring it here, we'll refurbish it, make it like new again, up to OEM standards, and sell that back to our customers and warranty them as well. And that's what you were touching on.
Yes, that's where we're going with that.
So talking about the industries that we buy this equipment from would be any industry out there. Yeah. I mean, whether it be
it's everybody.
I know. When I was thinking about that, I'm like, whether it's the casinos, the hospitals, the data centers, we do have parameters regarding the equipment that we'll bring in.
Exactly.
And I did get a lot of that information from our guys out in the depot and,
and purchasing.
Purchasing, indeed. Exactly. So why would they be recycling or selling it? Like I said, the adds, moves, or changes. Coordinating it logistically. Getting the equipment here, because now when I'm talking about this picture makes it look very simple and easy to do. We've got a mid-size unit and we put it on a cart and there we go and out the door. However, what we're talking about is equipment that are hardwired into the building and it needs to be deinstalled, first being shut down properly is number one.
That's the biggest thing.
Which is a service we do.
Make sure you have the right people to shut down that equipment for you.
Right. And that's one of the services that we offer is shutting the unit down, because that way it keeps the power modules and the batteries.
The integrity.
There you go. There we go. We're doing it again.
We're doing it again. We're back on track.
Anyway, so getting the unit, contact one of your account managers or one of our account managers for doing a process like that. That's essential. What they will do then is coordinate getting a hold of the proper electricians to,
get it all taken out unhardwired. I'm not sure what the technical term is there, if anybody can help me out with that, but unhardwired.
I like it.
We do have people that we
Deinstall.
work with that will help do the deinstalls and make sure the electrical stuff stays impact and
yes,
that it
you're
doesn't.
looking for me for that word.
I'm like, what order to? And just make sure that not only the equipment is safe and taken care of and comes out as it needs to be in order to sell it and reuse it, but also to make sure that the electricity within your building is still running the way it's supposed to, and it's stable, and it doesn't get any complications with that as well.
Of course, yeah. So logistically, when we do have a unit that is a 3-phase unit, for instance, and they are wired into the building, and so we come out, we bring the electricians out to get it, undone and unplugged and deinstalled and all of that. Getting the unit to our site is important. That we bring it here. What do we have up there?
It's Highlander.
Oh, okay. Hi, Highlander. Where were you last week?
Right. What happened to you? We did miss you. We didn't even know that you weren't here.
Oh.
He wants to know why I have water instead of tea. It was a really busy morning. We had a meeting this morning, and I had to stop on my way in and get donuts and juice for everyone.
Right.
And I didn't have time to make my tea, so I have water today, which is like, God, it's documented that I'm actually drinking water. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go.
I have documentation that I drink water.
That's what I need to bring one on the show.
I know, right? Then you have one too.
Exactly.
But hi, Highlander. Good morning. I'm glad you are joining us. Or I guess you're not here, so good evening.
Right.
Middle of the night.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna have to check the time zone there.
Right.
In Michigan.
So, so where I was going with this is that actually bringing the unit here, we want to bring it here and having it get to us in a manner that we're going to be able, so as safe as possible with the least amount of damage to the unit. And when we're talking about large equipment, I mean, it stands how tall? 7 feet?
Yeah. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the UPSs, some of them are small, like, and I'm going to date myself on this. So like a VCR or like a DVD player. Some of them are small like that, but then they can be as size as like the original desktop computers,
right?
Like the towers. But then some of them can be as big as this room. Like some of them are ginormously huge. And I had no idea they got that big until I saw pictures, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. So like the size of your refrigerator, literally the one we have here is the size of a large refrigerator, just a little bit wider than a refrigerator would be. So just for visual purposes, for those of you that aren't familiar, they can be huge.
Absolutely. And bringing them on site, bringing them to us from across the country in a manner that's going to keep, not only internally the components, I mean, because what I've learned over the years, I mean, they have connectors on there, like when the power module slides in, and it has to touch and connect. Exactly. So if there's any damage to it at all, it can,
too much shaking on the way here, the vibrating.
That affects it.
One thing I learned with go-karts, actually, I got my kids go-karts a few years ago for Christmas, and the vibration actually makes the screws loose, and the screws start to come out. So I can imagine there would be a very similar situation with the vibrations with the equipment coming here, because there are tiny little screws, and they're not always, some of them are just flat, so they don't have anything on the other side to like keep them in. So that will trigger all that. So when it gets here, we check all that stuff as well. But also it has to be packaged in a way where we have minimal options for that to happen. And we have to take the power mods out and the batteries out, because if we don't, then we can bend the frame because of those vibrations and totally mess up the entire UPS.
Exactly.
I did learn that. I learned from my brother Elvis. I did learn that from Elvis. He's a great teacher. But he has a lot of knowledge.
Well, from shipping them so frequently.
Exactly. And he just knows how it works. So
process.
He's kind of broken it all down to me as well. And with my shipping background, that kind of helps me help our logistic partners as well. as
Yeah.
to this is what we need you to do. So
Right. So when we do that white glove delivery,
exactly.
where we go ahead and tell some details of the shipping and coordinating,
Right.
our
So
shipping expert.
I do have a logistical background. That's where I came from. I was there for half my life, I think. Still somewhat dabble in it, especially here when I can help out the account managers. But when we come and get the equipment from the customer and bring it to us, it's actually called reverse logistics because we're bringing it back to us.
Okay.
And so one of the many, I guess probably the most important thing that we can control for you as a customer is that we know that time is money. And we know that your schedule is usually pretty bonkers because that's just the way this industry works. And the industries that we work with, we know that the schedules and the times that you can have people come in and out and when you can go down and all of that, we know that that is very strategically planned. So with our logistical partners, we're able to schedule those times for you. You can have a morning pickup, you can have an afternoon pickup, you can have an after hours. If it has to be 3 a.m., midnight, we can do that as well. It can be a specific time. Hey, I need you there at 2:30 on Wednesday afternoon because that's when A, B, and C is going to happen. We can do that for you, which is huge because a lot of logistics companies are just like, yeah, we'll be there on Wednesday. And that's just kind of how they operate. Just some of them are more customer service oriented and some of them are more price driven. And so that's the biggest difference. So the one that we do have that we can use is definitely customer service oriented, just like we are. That's definitely a very positive situation for us.
Good synergy.
Exactly. It works. And they're very good about communication with us as well.
That's huge.
A text, a phone call, an email, they're answering, they're keeping us in the loop on everything, which is very important when you do things like this. We can also, based on the partner that we do use, we can schedule multiple pickups. So like if your crew or our crew, whomever is doing it, whether it's your electrician or our electrician, and they have to break it down because it is one of the larger units, they have to break it down like one piece at a time. And so they have to do like this half on this day and this part on this day and this other part on this other day. We can schedule 3 different pickups. So we don't have to do it all on the same day. So we can get whatever you have taken out and what's that called?
Deinstalled.
And the parts that you deinstalled on Tuesday can be picked up on Tuesday. That way they're not in your way on Wednesday when you get there, and so forth and so on. So that is one thing that we can do. And then they will just hold it until it's all been picked up.
That would be a big deal for battery jobs.
Exactly.
When you have large batteries and we're palletizing them at the same time as we're changing them out, because we're taking batteries out as we're putting batteries in.
And it takes up a lot of space.
Logistically a challenge in space.
It is.
I know
for
that
the customer.
Hurdles.
And that's one of the things that we're starting to talk about and starting to discuss different options that we can do that would be more valuable to the customer and more convenient for the customer. That we're working on a lot of things as a whole in Gruber. And this is one of the things where I can say, hey, I know we can do this and we can do it better.
That's an option.
And it will be, it's a little more expensive because you're asking for a specialty service. But at the same time, what's $50 if it saves you your schedule?
Well,
and
they
it
have the
helps
labor
you.
time for the people they're affecting at the,
So at the end of the day, it all will level out at the same time.
Sure.
But at least that way you can control it. Like that's the biggest thing, is being able to control your schedule, which is worth all the money in the world. To me, anyway. That's
when you're trying to manage your time.
Exactly.
Do you want to jump up here real quick?
So Highlander asks, do the units get recycled in Phoenix or do we shift them elsewhere?
Well, it depends on what we're doing with the unit.
Itself,
Yeah, because if the unit is coming back and we've tested it and we found that it is something that we can refurbish and repurpose and put back out there and sell to the next customer, then obviously we're not recycling it. But if we are recycling it, then we have a process that we go through and actually take the unit apart and dispose of the parts properly.
Right.
So that way
The
they
unusable parts.
Yeah, we take out anything that's usable, which obviously we want to make sure we test them and do all of that. But then anything that isn't, then we definitely dispose of it properly using the proper sources. And stuff
most
like
of that is done here in Phoenix.
Yeah. Pete Gruber, what is interesting about our UPS recycling operation is that we repurpose some of it for the EV service operations. Exactly. And that's the synergy that our companies have with each other is the fact that we were able to evolve into Gruber Motor Company, our EV operations from our critical power space that we operate within.
Because it's so similar, scary similar.
Right.
A car runs just like a building.
The core of it is the same. We have
the
batteries that are converting power, so, to use to operate equipment. So that's awesome. Pete Gruber, the test equipment used on UPS often is common as well, since both technologies are three-phase inverters. What it powers is the variable. Yeah, like we were just talking about, exactly what it's used for. Highlander, I figured the test equipment would be about the same, the Highlander. Yep. And then can you pull that up? Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. Pete Gruber, since EV repair is new and disruptive, we make our own power supplies, load banks, and production equipment, so UPS becomes a battery gurney. Yes, in the Gruber Motor Company, we have gurneys set up.
Right.
Yeah, just for the batteries. Yeah.
There's a lot going on over there. It's actually really cool. That's everybody's favorite part of the tour.
What would be cool is to have a video that we're going through all the different operations, starting manufacturing next door in Gruber Industries, going to Gruber Power Services, going to Gruber Motor Company, so that we can give our audience like the perspective of what we're talking about
and
each
how we
week.
all tie together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good idea,
Jesse. Okay. We think of these things as we go.
We'll make some cool videos out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Shoot a drone.
Yeah.
Going through.
I think Jesse has one of them.
Yeah, we have a drone video. We had a guy come out, like a professional, come out and do a drone shot over GMC flying through the shop and all that.
Right.
So,
that's what I was kind of referring to.
so
Yeah, because that was awesome.
We can do that for the other buildings. That'd be cool, especially through the production, like you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Nicole, you want to read the next one?
So the Highlander said, I figured the test equipment would be about the same.
The Highlander.
And yes, it is. Highlander also says large batteries. Try looking at a submarine battery. Those things are over 3 foot tall. Ours were
Exide.
I think that's a brand.
I don't know.
I've seen that word, and I think it's
It sounds like
it's either a brand or a type, but I think it's
Google
a brand.
Exide. But a submarine battery, that would be a marine battery, which we've had customers call in and ask if we have
many
those
times
before. Yeah,
Many times.
yeah, which we don't.
Unfortunately,
But
no, we don't. We can do Power Wheels batteries, but not boat.
Well, we can find them though, because we
can
do
find
have
them.
a lot of distributors that we work with that sell a variety of different types of batteries, and so
It'll just take a little bit longer. We
Yeah,
can't,
we'll
we
just
can't have
source
those
it.
shipped today.
not out of our warehouse.
Yeah.
Yep, but we'll source them absolutely.
We will find them.
So what do we do when it gets here? What do we do with the equipment when it gets here? Well, like I was just mentioning, the first thing is evaluating the equipment. We have an idea of what we're going to do with the UPS before it even gets here.
Right. Because we've had all those conversations with the customer of what they
Bingo.
have, what we're expecting, how old it is, and what our needs are. Because that's part of the structure in which we decide whether or not it's something that we would be able to purchase from the customer.
Right. Absolutely. What I was thinking of along those lines is what's happened often is that we will have a unit that we have on a maintenance agreement and we've been servicing it for so many years. So we know the history. It's kind of like buying a car.
Right.
When you buy a car, if you buying it from a relative and you know the history of that vehicle from that relative, like they were getting the oil changes done on a regular basis. And they were, then you can go into it and going, I want to buy that car because I know
it
it.
was taken care of. Right.
So it would be the same kind of scenario where if we've had that unit under a maintenance agreement for the last 10 years, and
everything.
they're changing out their unit, because we do have some customers where they will decide that they're going to change out their unit just at the 7-year mark. Every 7 years, no matter what, they change their units out.
There's
It
budget
doesn't
for
matter.
it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the state of the unit or any of that. So if we're just changing out a unit, then those are ideal to bring back in, because then we can service it and know exactly, what's going on with the different components.
Right. And it's funny that you said it's like buying a car, because I like to what I call third grade everything.
Right.
And so I try to find the most relative thing that I can think of to explain things to people. So when we're talking about UPSs and our training, like the very first day, the first couple weeks, and we have new employees that haven't been in the industry, I do break everything down to like a car. So like the APC is like a Chevy, and the Symetra is like a Tahoe.
I don't know if they would like that.
And,
It depends on if they're a Ford or Chevy or
the
maybe a Tesla.
I probably should. I should switch it over so it makes more sense. But like the VIN number and the serial number are basically the same, and the KVA and the V8 or the V6 or whatever. Right. And it just makes it a little. It helps click a little bit better. Sure. And then last week we were talking about service reports and what's on a service report and the information you can get and how important they are, because with your service report you can see, hey, this is getting to a point where it needs to be, you need a budget for your batteries because they're not at 100% anymore, or there are so many, they're 3.5 years old, because it can be very costly to make sure when you get those new batteries, depending on how many you have. And so one of the people said, so like a Carfax. And I was like, yes, just like a Carfax.
There you go. So now you'll be using that as well.
So now I will use that as well. So it's just funny that you said like buying a car, because I literally relate everything to cars, because everybody knows what a car is. Exactly. And how it works and how to figure out the little details. Exactly. So
the only difference is in a vehicle, you choose your vehicle based on the luxury or something
color, the cup
like that.
Holders.
Where what we do with the UPS unit,
totally different.
It's totally different. It's based on what your needs are and what you have at your facility.
I base my car purchases on how much stuff can I put behind the back seat. I'm a mom,
I've seen
3
that.
kids. 2 of them play travel baseball. So how many baseball bags and suitcases can I get behind the back seat?
Yeah. If you ever need anything, ask Nicole for it. She's probably got it in her car.
Yes, I do. I mean, somebody said, man, I wish I had tissue paper in a bag for this gift. I'm like, be right back. What about some ribbon? Be right back.
What about a wagon?
How about a wagon? Hold on. Be right back.
That's too funny.
Yes.
So anyway, factors, one of the things when we were talking about, I'm going to back up a little bit here.
I know we kind of were going back and forth.
Skipped around a little bit in our notes, but one of the factors that I did get from our team about when evaluating a unit to purchase it is, besides knowing the history of having that, but if we don't have that history, the year the equipment was manufactured is one of them. The brand and model of the equipment, for obvious purposes, the input and output voltage, the KVA size. We take into consideration, how many are we selling already? You know, what is the demand for it right now in the market?
One big thing on that too is because of the way we do our parts and the way our operations is done based on the changes we've made, is we really focus on the whole end of service life thing that we spoke about with Stephen. When it's units that are a little bit older, that are kind of at like the OEM's end of life, but we can still service them. Those are ones that we're on the lookout for, especially because we want to try to keep our customers up and running as long as we can, because again, it's costly to buy a UPS, and sometimes it takes a couple years to get that in your budget. And so we just want to make sure that for those last couple of years, you're covered. So those kind of units are definitely
Yeah, that's a good point. Absolutely.
right, very, very much something we look for. So a lot of the people that are just trading them out because it's been so many years, even if it's 10 years or whatever,
Right.
just to be on the safe side and make sure nothing happens because they're a larger company, been around a lot longer. Their pockets are a little bit deeper. Their budgets are a lot more friendly. Then they can buy that equipment more often
Right.
than somebody else. So that is definitely beneficial for us when it
Right.
comes to stuff like that, so that we can keep the other companies going as long as they need to as well.
Absolutely. No, that's a very, very good point. The last couple things that we consider are, of course, how many do we have in inventory right now? What does our
Right.
inventory look like?
Right.
We want to keep our inventory very diverse and have many options because,
Right.
again, it's pertaining to what our customers need at their site.
Exactly.
So for us to have the variables between the different types of equipment and what the input output voltages are on those units is particularly important.
And if we have, a whole rack being filled with one particular unit's parts, and then it's rolling over into the next rack, at that point, it doesn't make any sense to continue to buy those parts because
Right.
we have enough of them.
Plentiful.
Exactly. And then we don't have anywhere to put the stuff that maybe for another unit that might be also needed at the time.
Right.
So
Right. Oh,
we
yeah.
try to make it a happy
a
medium.
balance.
We really do try to do the best we can to balance that out.
And our purchasing team does a great job
do.
of doing that.
Logan,
That's right. Logan, Todd, the whole group.
we're gonna go ahead and call Logan
Call
out on
shout
this one. And yes, Todd oversees them, and he
Does an amazing job.
he does an amazing job too. I know that he wears many hats, so he has a
Oh, yeah.
lot going on. So personally, when I was in the role where I dealt with purchasing, I mostly dealt with Logan.
Okay.
Again, because Logan is our go-to. He's the guy on the
Right.
ground, and that's like his main job. So I've worked with Logan a lot, and I really love working with Logan. He's
a
awesome.
great,
He's
talented
amazing.
person.
He has so
Yeah.
much knowledge and just
He's got a lot
he can
going
get
on.
it done. And when you use the word efficient, I'm pretty sure if you look up in the dictionary, his picture is there. I have never seen responses to emails and things,
Right.
purchase orders going out as fast. I'm just like, okay,
It's awesome.
the new people, we have a system, we have certain things we have to do, and then we have to email Logan all of the information. I'm like, make sure your email to Logan is ready to go before you even put the information in the system,
Right.
because he will be asking for it before you have time to attach your stuff to your email.
Right.
He's that efficient. So we train
Good point.
everybody to be on Logan's level as much as we can. So you're setting a very high bar there,
That's awesome.
but we do what we can.
Again, some of our very talented individuals.
Very good at his job.
One of the other ones I have location of equipment, and if it can be properly packaged as white glove shipping comes at a premium, type
It
of
is.
situation.
It is.
What we just went over,
Right.
is the whole shipping.
And then,
Let's see.
and I did kind of, because we went to comments, with the white glove shipping. So one of the things is we can, with our partners, we can pick it up on a pallet ready to go. If you had it uninstalled and you did all the work yourself and you had it palletized and ready to go, we can definitely pick it up that way. But if you have us deinstall it, or even if you have your own people deinstall it, but you don't have the availability to put it, or maybe you don't even have a pallet laying around, and
Right.
you're not really sure how to strap it in correctly, or any of those things, we can pick it up bare and have it packaged and palletized and prepared for shipping in a way that it will not, it's more likely to not get damaged on the way here. I don't want to say it's not going to get damaged, because
And I want to
Shipping is
highlight
shipping.
a point on that too. Something that we hadn't mentioned. One of the critical components about getting it packaged right and put on the pallet and banded and everything right is the safety component of it. When you have a UPS unit, it's majority of them, when they're three-phase, they're tall units,
Very
and
tall.
so they get top heavy.
Very
because
top
of the
heavy.
way the equipment is. And so safety is key to the situation, and making sure that it's properly banded and strapped in, so that way you don't have to worry about it tipping over.
Right.
Because that's been a big thing in the past, that we've always been very aware of how we're setting things down, these units down, and
Right.
moving them around, so that way way that doesn't happen and become
Exactly.
effective, because safety is a big deal around
It is.
here.
It's
You know,
huge. And this particular freight partner or shipping partner that we have, one of the things that they do that sets them aside from other shipping companies as well is if they pick up something like a 3-phase UPS that the customer packaged and
Right.
maybe they don't feel like it's safe to ship, they're going to add the bands and they're going to add things because number one, the freight is in their hands and they don't want it to get destroyed while it's with them, number one.
Sure.
But also for the safety of their truck driver, their
And their
person loading and
people.
unloading. And then
Right.
our people
All
that are
along.
on the docks while they're unloading the truck, they
Right.
just want to make sure that everybody is safe. So they will go in and reinforce a lot of those shipments just to be
That's-
sure
that's critical.
that it makes it there on,
Right.
in one piece and doesn't have a safety problem and send someone to a hospital or whatever. I mean, it's happened. It's definitely happened before.
Yeah. So you've got to be careful.
You do have to be careful.
One of the other things we talked about that we'll buy units that are, under an existing maintenance agreement that they're changing out or something like that. But we'll also consider buying equipment based on how many units that we currently have under a service agreement.
Right.
So if we have lots of units that are similar or the same make and model, and then one of those units comes up for sale, we'll definitely grab that unit because of the fact that we can use that, like you were mentioning, to keep them going.
To keep them going. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At some point, we don't want to sell them refurbished as a unit because they're getting so close to the end of service. So a lot of times it is for parts.
It's just breaking it down and taking the critical components out of
and
it.
then recycling
testing
what
them.
we can't use.
Yep. Repurpose. Like
Yes.
Pete said, repurposing.
We use as much as we can before we
Yeah.
recycle anything. And like Pete said, being able to use it over at Motors and using some of the same technology that has kept a lot of things from having to go be recycled or go to a, what you might call a scrap yard or something, because there's only so much you can do with some of those materials. Like some stuff is just, it is what it is. And you kind of, you're stuck with it.
You know what I always thought was interesting on this topic, though, is that if you walk in our yard, we have an area of our yard where we have gone through units when we have been taking them apart and things like that. And we have a row of all kinds of back panels.
Yes. Tons.
It's important.
Right.
Those
So
are important.
We will
And-
never scrap or get rid of a back panel. They will,
Yes,
they will always
because
go out.
I don't know how many times over the years that I've heard it come up where, a customer at a site, they had somebody that was in the room or doing something, their panel got damaged. And so they're
They need a new
looking
one.
for another panel. And the fact that we've got access to something like that to
Right.
help replace
So
the
many
ones
of
that, yeah.
We even have a paint room. We can paint it any color you want. We can
Purple,
customize
pink.
it. I mean, if you really want it, we
I
can
haven't
do it.
seen a pink UPS before.
I mean, we should do that.
I know.
we should
It's
do
just
it.
coming to my mind right
Right.
now.
And then for
That
the,
would be kind of
you
interesting.
know what? If you own a boutique and you need a
Right.
UPS, let us know. We'll paint it pink for you.
Absolutely. That would be fun. Airbrush it.
I mean, yes, we can do.
Yeah.
We're all about customer
That
service.
ombre.
Yes, and customization. Let's do it. We're going to do it. Just let us know because we definitely want to be
Customized
involved.
paint jobs. That would be fun.
Pete's going to kill us. But
I
that's
know.
okay.
That would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Okay. Okay.
Back on track.
Back
Sorry.
on track. Okay.
I'm
So
the worst.
continue on. When we receive equipment in that we've purchased, what are the steps that we do? We first identify if the unit can be refurbished or if not. Then we go through and do the testing of the unit and either are going to put it into our finished products and our stock inventory for sales. Otherwise, we will break it down and properly dispose of the parts, etc. Now, once we have a unit that we've put into our inventory and stock for us to be able to sell it to, our customers out there, our account managers they're going through and evaluating what our customers' needs are and checking against our inventory to see if they can have that option for our customers. And they'll give them a lot of times both options. This is what it's going to be new from the OEM. This is what we've got in inventory. And then it comes down to, you know, their budgeting and things like that.
Budgeting and the time. Some people don't
that's
have time to wait on one from the OEM because some of them are customized.
Yes.
So then in that case, sometimes we'll use one of our units for like a rental until if they definitely want the OEM, but the time frame doesn't work within their time frame. We will rent you one for in the meantime if you need it. And then also when the OEM's done, we will install that one for you as well.
Right.
So we try to work both worlds as best as we can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know when you're talking about lead times, I know, you know, a few years back, I mean, we were running into lead times months and months out from the OEMs. And so trying to conquer that, us having a refurbished inventory to sell to our customers as an option that was huge.
Right. There was the one on my team, and I'm not going to say who because we might be in an NDA with them. I'm pretty sure we are.
Right.
But the one in Florida, I know the lead time on that was like a year or something crazy.
Right.
But also it was a very large UPS. It was actually two of them. And it was very specific for what that customer needed. So that was one that it took a while to get it. And we finally got it.
Right.
Finally.
Right. But
it was, I think it was at least a year. It might have been a little over a year to get that one in.
Yeah.
But they got it. That was one of those that we definitely tracked the freight. I had an alarm on my phone for every hour to check and see where the truck driver was because I'm a little bit crazy like that. But that's what we do. I was on the team that had sold it. And so because I did have the logistical background, I was very involved in the logistics when it came to that. Right. And it was over the weekend and I was up every hour making sure he was far enough along to where he needed to be to make sure that he was going to get there on time and make sure everything arrived safely and make sure everything was intact when it got there. Right. Coordinated with the customer to make sure that it worked in their schedule that they had. They were teaching. They used it for teaching things.
Okay. Right.
I have to choose my words very carefully. And so it had to be in between the different classes because this class graduated at this time and there was a new class coming in and it had to be in between those two. So it was very, very, very time specific. So, So that's again, things that we can do with our logistical partners to make it easier for the customers.
Absolutely. So we've got more on here. Highlander, Jesse and Aaron need a raise. They're able to put up with me.
I won't argue with that. Aaron gets to be on vacation this week.
Aaron is on his honeymoon.
Yeah.
I know. He's taking a break.
He's fishing on his honeymoon.
Fishing on his honeymoon?
Right. He said he was most...
maybe that's what they like.
Right. Maybe I shouldn't say it out loud, but he was most excited for his 2 fishing trips that he was on. They're
that could be fun, though. You know.
Maybe
I'm a water person. Anything with water.
She's also from Alabama, so she might be into fishing too. Right. Or maybe she's at the spa while he's fishing. I mean, either way.
It could work.
It could work.
A couple margaritas and you're good.
Right? You can do anything. However, those have the most sugar in them, and that's what's keeping all my weight on. Jesse and I have had this conversation a couple of times.
Okay. Highlander. It's almost commercial time, folks. Oh, you're right. So, Nicole, go by all means.
These are new. I don't think these were here last week.
I don't think so. Not the dark blue.
So, Gruber Motors, because they do the sunglasses for their... Oh, here you go.
There you go.
They do the sunglasses for their podcast. We have opted not to. They are selling these beautiful leather customized sunglass cases.
Nice.
Here's a pair of sunglasses that somebody's left here so that we can show you they fit in here. Oh, nope. They don't fit there. Just kidding, but you can buy this bigger one.
I don't know if those ones fit in there, but we have some bigger ones.
You know what? I'm a girl. I'm going to make it fit. Okay, nope. They're not going to fit.
They're not the proper ones.
We need better sunglasses. Sorry, we're going to get rid of these.
Start over next time.
Prop sunglasses.
Yes, we need regular size sunglasses. So we have the more sturdy leather brown ones.
It's a suede inside, right?
With the It is.
Yeah, very soft.
Yeah.
It's not going to scratch up the lenses, any of that.
No.
Nice.
With the Gruber Motors logo on the back.
Now, it's
And then
not
you have the
like just
smaller ones.
embroidered. They've like lasered in
Oh, yeah.
the
It even has,
etching on there, huh?
they even have numbers on them to show you which case you bought.
Oh, of
Yeah.
the
I
don't-
series?
I don't think you can see.
Yeah, we're
Let
doing
me see.
that.
What number is that one?
We're doing
one's
that
4.
for the
Oh, yeah,
first
that's
run
3.
of them. We're doing it for the initial batch.
Oh, okay.
That's the Founder series and the Signature series, kind of like they do with the cars and Tesla.
Sure.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to brush up on my Tesla. Sorry, guys.
It's got a pretty strong magnet inside
know,
there,
right?
too.
These ones are.
Yeah. Nice.
This one's just a little more sturdy.
You know, if they made a makeup case like this.
I might would buy that.
We could talk to Mark, have him come up with some product ideas.
Yeah, there we go.
That would be better
Journey
for
out
me.
there.
So,
Anywho, so back
now we're back.
back to the topic at hand. So, Jesse, will you bring up our page on our website?
Yep, 1 second.
Highlighting all the information that we've been talking about?
Right.
Because one of the things that we're doing is going through our different services that we have and what's available for our customers and what we offer to our customers. And the want to sell option happens frequently.
we do get that question a lot.
Right.
Even through our live chat. There's a lot of people through live chat that want to know.
Right.
And then
that come
there's a
through our
lot of people that
website.
email service.
Will you show how you get to that place? Can you do that or no?
Or is this a screen?
Yeah. So you go to services and then you go down,
Recycle.
recycle, or sell your UPS. There you go. That's it.
I feel like there should have been sound effects there.
I know, right? A chime.
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll get there.
That's my
Okay.
newer
So
headphones.
recycle or sell your UPS. All you need to do is fill out the information on the page. I think we've got an information, or just contact our phone number on there. Yeah, just contact us. And you can talk to Ann. There it is. That's the information I was talking about. And we'll be happy to discuss not only what you're looking to sell, but what you're doing to replace.
Exactly.
Because, you know, the capacity of which these UPS units are being used typically requires something in their place. So it's not only about, you know, selling what they've got. It's, again, you know, they run and operate similarly, comparably like a car.
Right.
But the
You always
fact
need it.
well, that's true. You do. You always need a
And when you don't have it is
Right.
the time that you're going to really need it.
right, exactly. There you
I
go.
can attest to that.
But the fact is that having another unit ready to go in its place is important too.
It's crucial.
when you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And another thing about Gruber, and going back to that whole customer service thing, we want to be the one-stop shop. We want to be there from the beginning to
turnkey
the end.
option.
We want to be there for literally
Right.
everything you need. If you have an alarm, if you need a new unit, if you need a part, if you need whatever you need, if you just need to talk to somebody because you're
Right.
not sure, you got a new job and this is what part of what your job is overseeing these UPSs, but you're like Janie or I and you didn't come from that background and you need someone to go
Some
over it with you
guidance.
and tell you, hey, this is what we do, this is what it is, this is how you maintain it. We're here for that too. Anything you need, we're here for you.
We'll send them all the information on the equipment.
And even
Yeah.
some of
And
those
go over
account
it with 'em.
managers will come and walk through it with you.
Right.
And
they'll go
show
to
you
the
how
site.
it all works and break it all down for you. We do have a lot of account managers that
That
do
is a
site
good
visits.
point. I know. And I mean, just picturing myself being in that, you know, facilities manager or IT manager's shoes when they're going new into a position and they know that they're responsible for multiple areas of that facility and making sure that, you know, all the different areas are covered. Coming to somebody like us and saying, hey, can you come out and walk me through this equipment so that way I know, you know, what I need to be aware of with
What
the
I'm
equipment.
looking for, what
Yeah.
I need to pay attention to.
Or what the team, because a good instance of that is you have certain outlets that are covered by the UPS unit and what they're using those outlets for, and
Exactly.
making sure that everybody in the
compatible.
office exactly is
Because
aware.
there are some things you cannot plug into your UPS. by the
Right.
way. Just
Exactly.
FYI. I might have been schooled a couple of times.
Nicole
So
knows it well.
yes, I've been schooled.
So, anyways, so that facilities, our IT person needs to know, where everything is tied into and what's being utilized with it. So,
Right.
for sure, that's important.
Exactly.
Josh Paisley, do the sunglass case say Gruber on them?
Actually, they don't. They just have the logo.
No, they should have a laser logo
On the
in
back.
On the back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
I had to flip it over.
Gruber Motor.
It says Gruber Motor Company. Is that Pete's signature?
Oh, that's interesting.
For the signature series, it is, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep, that is Pete's signature.
Yes.
I'll have to get a actual signed one.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes, they do. It says Gruber on the back, but it's Gruber Motor.
Yep.
Part of our umbrella.
Exactly.
You can do custom, though, because it marks laser. He can laser on basically
Okay.
anything.
Apparently,
have
for
to
the
get a
right
Gruber
price, we
Power
can put
Services.
your name on it for the right price.
Oh, nice.
Why not?
Absolutely. Dwight Schrute. That's awesome. I love
Dwight
that.
was on the Gruber communications
Yeah,
yesterday as well.
Okay.
And so
I'm-
was Michael Scott. Yep.
And Michael Scott
Yeah.
was too.
Oh,
And
that's fantastic. I love it.
they must have been taking a break. And I think this question refers back to the conversation they had yesterday about G sheds and man caves. And so Dwight wants to know, number one, will my AR sunglasses fit in the case? And I believe that's from yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like the Google brand of the
they're like augmented
Apple.
reality.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right.
But they were much smaller, much cuter than the Apple ones, and definitely better priced. No, they will not fit in the case. And he says, number two, can I access the website on my AR sunglasses? Absolutely, yes, you can. You can
Right.
www.gruber.com.
Yeah, as long as you got internet.
There you go. Right. Yep. You can
And you
get to
can
it.
browse and you can purchase a UPS to make sure that your sunglasses stay charged if the power goes out. If you really want.
That's a good way to tie it in.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And you
getting
probably need a
creative.
little bit bigger unit for your man cave.
Right. Absolutely.
With
That's
all the
important.
electronics in there, you want to at the very least, make sure you have enough runtime to properly shut everything down so that you
Right.
don't lose all of your information on your personal
That's a
electronics.
good angle. Yeah.
Because not everybody uses it for the to keep everything going for a long period of time. It's for the short period, and some businesses will purchase the UPS and have a UPS backup and just have enough runtime to properly shut things down.
course.
Because, for instance, a real estate agency.
Mhm.
They can all work from home. Most of the time they're in the field, but at the office is where all the main records are, and they do a lot of their face-to-face with their customers, and they have a lot of meetings and such. And if they were to lose power, it would be detrimental for them to lose all those records if something wasn't saved.
Sure.
So if their power goes out, it gives them just enough time to go in, shut everybody's computer down correctly, shut the server down, do whatever they have to
Right.
do to back up that information, and then they can go home and
Right.
finish what they were doing for the day. Whereas like a bank or a casino wouldn't have that option. So they would need to have the longer running time along with the generator
Right.
to
That's
make
what I'm
sure
saying. They
that
have
they are covered
auxiliary
for
power.
a long time,
Right.
not just that short period. So
Yes.
yes, for your man cave, you probably should have a UPS so that you can shut down everything
Yeah. There
correctly
you go.
if you lose power.
There you go. That's it.
So there.
It's just, I had a thought and it went, but that's all right.
And the UPS to run your PS5 is not really. We've done some background and some research
Okay.
on that, and you just need to pause your video game. You just need to get off the game for a little bit.
UPS isn't going to go as long as their
No.
game.
No,
Like you would,
it's not.
they would have to have rooms
Then the big
full of batteries
generator and everything
to
else
sustain the
as
amount
well.
of time they want to
Yes.
play their game. So that wouldn't make any sense. Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
2 more YouTube. 100,000 wall trophy buttons just arrived. Oh wow! Yay!
They made it.
Clap for
Woo.
ourselves.
Maybe you should bring them down and
100,000.
show us.
Yeah, can you come
mean-
down in the next 5 minutes with them? That's fantastic.
Or yell at somebody on the team to bring them down.
Yeah, bring them down. Bring them down. Dwight Schrute, metal yellow first, red finger red
It's
number
those
one.
are supposed to be emojis they didn't come across.
Oh,
Oh, no.
what is
Sorry about
this?
that.
Some kind of
Yeah, go
like.
ahead.
Oh,
Here's
here we
Pete.
go. Here comes
Hey,
Pete.
there it is. This is
Highlander also says,
fantastic.
yay!
Hey, Mark Beach.
All right, we're gonna do this live. Look at this, guys.
This is fantastic.
Yay.
100,000 subscribers.
100,000 YouTube subscribers, and you get this silver button, which will hang on the wall.
Okay.
Of course.
I don't think
It
they can
says,
really hear you, Pete.
Presented to Gruber Power for passing 100,000 subscribers YouTube. Now the next goal, there's nothing in between until we get to 1 million.
Oh, boy.
And then we get a gold plaque, which we
Okay.
think may be 24 karat. At least we're hoping that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave this with you guys
Oh,
for the
thanks.
Oh,
duration of
that's
the show.
fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, guys, did you hear that? We need your help. We need to get to 1 million.
We're working on that. Mark Beach, why is it always about men?
I don't remember what I said, Mark. You're going to have to.
Oh, I don't know. When you're talking about the man cave and them needing UPS to shut down, I don't know.
Because
they have
men play
electronics.
PS5. Women
Right.
don't know how. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, there are some women that do.
Okay.
This
that's
is
right.
another
That's right.
generation. We do have
Women that are younger than me, you might want to get a UPS so you can shut down your PS5 and
There
your
you go.
electronics as well.
Josh Paisley. Nice. Yes. Thank you, Josh. Highlander. They discussed the ladies' bat cave yesterday. Yes. Gruber went platinum. We did,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
fantastic. We're super
That's
excited.
awesome.
Thanks to Claude and Elvis for
For starting
launching
it.
this and getting us to where we're at right now. You
Right.
know, helping us to continue this.
Exactly.
Yep.
Continue the work.
Yes. Fantastic.
Here we go.
Oh, use a battery. They're heavier than they look.
Yeah, it was. I was like,
I noticed that. There we
you
go. We'll improvise here.
There should be. Is there anything on the ground heavier over there?
I got it. We got
We
it.
got it. We're
Hold on.
good.
The leather
Okay.
stops at some point.
Well, we're super proud and super
Mark.
excited. Hey guys! Yay!
So our
Come on out.
our
Come on in.
partners
Come on
from
in, check it out.
yesterday's
Yes.
show are here.
Jump on in. It's okay.
Okay.
So this is the team from the Gruber Wired
John.
Hour, and coming into the podcast.
Mark,
There
give
we
me a hard
go.
time. These are the guys that give me such a hard time about my tea.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Which is vodka.
And I
today.
have
There you go. So John,
No.
go ahead and say hi.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Welcome.
Whee! Yeah. Hey,
Nice
we're
to have you
very
guys on.
proud of you guys getting your plaque.
Yes.
Totally awesome.
yeah. You guys got one too.
Yeah, we get one too.
There you go.
We'll
You
You'll
guys
get you'll get yours on Thursday.
Yeah, we gotta wait.
right.
Yeah,
Well, we
right.
saw, so we had to run over here.
That's fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys for tuning in.
Mark,
Hey, I just want y'all to know we got ours
I like
first.
that shirt.
Got yours first.
We got ours first.
Yeah.
You see it
Yeah.
right
we got
here.
there first, but you got yours first.
Aw.
Just saying,
Hey,
it's a race
see?
to a million now.
See, you
Race
guys
to a
got to help us
million.
get to a million. Not them, but us. You got to help us
No.
get to a million.
We're going to get to a
it's a
million
contest
first.
now. It's a contest now. Like,
it's
share,
called out right
subscribe.
now.
Yes, likes. They need
Oh,
all.
wait a
Headlock your
minute.
friends.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do. If
We
you
have
need
a
to call us,
surprise
we'll
coming
help.
in right now.
Oh, hey.
What do we got?
FYI.
There it is. Oh, fantastic. It's a
We
party.
still got ours first. We still got ours first.
Let's see.
what we
Bring it
got
out.
going. Oh, it's in a nice
Look at
little
that.
Bring it
box.
out.
We got
Bring
the
it out.
official
Let's
letter.
see the letter here.
There we
Okay.
go.
The unveiling.
Dun-
There.
we go.
Yay!
It's a matching set.
There we go.
Gotta
I'll take
hold it at
that.
an angle because you see when you
I
do
know.
that, it kind of washes out. But
There you go. That's
Very cool.
fantastic.
Nice.
So, who's going to get to the million first is the question. We are.
We are.
Absolutely.
This.
Business cards.
on.
need
Business
that
cards in
gold
the mail
plaque.
today.
It's on. That's
Business cards in the
fantastic.
mail today.
Let's go, Mumbai. Come on. You
Oh,
can
here
All
we
go
go.
for
right,
it.
come
Okay, here
on
we go.
in.
Let's go. There he is, the man.
Here's the
myth,
one who
the legend.
chartered it all.
Do
Who
those
started
boxes
this?
say
We
Gruber on
want to
them?
thank all of
Here
you
you go.
guys
In
out
here.
there
Here you
because you're the guys that are making this possible. These are subscribers, and it's you guys that are driving this. So help us get to 1 million.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, between the two podcasts, it's over
girls
300,000 so
first.
far, right? Between the two.
That's fantastic.
That's a lot. That's a big number.
And guys, you
Yep.
really
And-
need to
and-
help us because the Highlander is going to come out here when we get to 1 million. So I mean,
is he?
hello, we need him out here. Yes, he said. He said when we get to $1 million, he will come and be a guest on all of our shows. So he'll
There
be
we
here for a
go.
whole week.
Oh, look at all the comments.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Hey, Highlander, you're not done yet. We got to get to 1 million. A
So-
million.
Dwight says, "Hi, Wired guys."
Thanks, Pete.
Dwight says, "Hi, Wired guys. We didn't know you'd be here." YouTube
Jesse had enough
royalty.
B.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, Dwight,
All right.
because you believe in us. We
There
appreciate it.
you go.
here we go.
You're really
Thank
making
you,
me
everyone.
relive
We
this.
appreciate it.
Harry,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. High
Cheers.
five. Good job. Mark.
bye.
Bye.
Good job. High five.
Oh, good job.
Okay.
Harry, who's part of the comm group, says congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Harry.
Highlander says, "Welcome back, guys. The Highlander. I've done my part." Yes, you have.
Absolutely.
And Josh Paisley says, "Congratulations."
Thank you.
So everybody else, we need you to do your part and invite everybody you know and don't know to join the Gruber Power
Sure.
podcast so that we can get the Highlander out here.
I don't know.
I-
If I'd known, I would have sent bagels to Highlander
We got donuts.
next week.
I mean, we can do bagels Monday.
Bagels are
There you
always
go.
welcome.
Anytime.
Monday's really hard to come to work sometimes.
You know what? Highlander, we're going to have a 40-year anniversary celebration. May 17th. We'll be on air that Friday.
Yes.
And we're hoping to do some additional airing time after, well, during the
ceremony.
During the
Or celebration,
Yeah. And that would be a fantastic day for bagels. So if you're putting it out there, that would be the day, May 17th.
It would also be a fantastic day for a guest host.
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably zoom him in at least.
Let's
nothing else.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, Jesse.
I'm sure
we
Jesse can figure that.
coordinate
He's smart.
We'll figure it out.
And he's really good
Logistically.
at the electronics. He helps me with my watch all the time. He also,
Okay.
Jesse said, if anybody wants to donate me an Apple Watch, he's tired of my Michael Kors watch. Gives him a headache.
Aw.
I'm kidding, by the way. But yes.
I understood.
Just FYI.
Understood.
That was just a
Understood. Taken away.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a fun show.
Yes. We definitely went right off the beaten
But
path
that's
on that
okay.
one, but it was fun. We
That's
had
right.
guest people. We got a plaque. I mean, that's
Yes.
a great day.
Good
That's
job,
a
Nicole.
Good job, Janie. This is a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Definitely.
Absolutely. No, seriously, Nicole, you've done a great job
Well,
and
thanks. So have you.
congratulations. And thank you for your participation.
I was voluntold. No.
I said, guess what we get to
You're
do?
right. I think we make a great pair.
I think so too.
I think we do well
that-
together.
Yes,
So,
the yin and the yang.
yes. Again, like, share, subscribe.
Yep.
Headlock people.
There you go.
If you're in line at the grocery store, convince
Yep.
people to watch us. We're funny sometimes.
I know.
Like today. Today was a great day.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah. So
Okay.
other than that, have a great weekend, guys.
All right. See you next
We'll
week.
see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.